when you're in the military, you got like it's a double-edged sword. It sounds like, right? Because you got all the discipline and the structure and stuff, which is probably a big part of what it is in the bounce back that you talked about, Jim.
Oh, absolutely.
But then also you come out and it's like, wait a minute, I'm coming into this world where not everyone
I thought
is
I was
like
gonna
that.
love it.
So maybe like, the
You're right.
expectations you have don't match up with other people.
Absolutely.
Well, one thing that I want to comment about you, James, is you were talking about how you're sitting in class your first day, the students come in 15 minutes late, they're not prepared, and you kept saying, I get it, I get it, I get it. No, you don't. No, you don't get it at all. I was just saying, just the fact he's saying he doesn't get it. And by the way, I've been a civilian ward for 15 years now. I don't get it. I don't understand how you show up late to work. I don't understand how you don't do what you said you're going to do.
Absolutely.
I still don't get it. I just don't.
Yeah.
You bring up a good point. I'm starting to see that. It's been about a year that I've been out now, and you're right. I see some stuff just in the professional workplace. I'll have students come to our company, and it's just like, wow. I don't know. There's a certain standard and I don't know, structure that the military. It's one of those things you can't really. I can sit here all day and we can both talk about it, but you don't really understand it unless you're there,
right,
or had that experience, I guess. So,
I would imagine that's a big part of because the stats are out there, right? Like I have a ton of them in front of me about how a lot of veterans struggle to assimilate and get back into the groove outside of the military. And I would imagine that shift, right, of going from, even though the stakes are insanely high, right, and you have to have these specialized skills and you better perform or else it's your life or your buddy's life or the mission or whatever that's at stake. And yet, there's an order and structure there that what to expect, when to wake up, what you're doing, what's happening, and then you get out in civilian life. And I would think that some veterans struggle with that lack of control or kind of like feeling like they're swimming in the deep end. You know what I mean? And it's like, wait a minute, where do I go? What do I do? I knew who I was supposed to be and what I was supposed to do.
And I think that's probably one of the things that I think that as people transition out of the Marine Corps, especially if they've been there, or the military, especially if they've been there for a long time, that's one of the biggest adjustments is you think that you're going to get out and the civilian world is going to be somewhat similar to the military where, 10 a.m. means 10 a.m. Well, to the civilian world, it doesn't.
Right.
To the civilian world, it could be 10:30, maybe 11, 11:15, or maybe not at all. And that seems to be acceptable. And that's very hard for like James and myself to accept. We're not okay with that. I don't think I'll ever be. I don't want to be okay with it. I don't want to adapt. I don't want to be okay with that ever. People saying doing what they say they're going to do. It's one thing that I can tell you that about myself. I, in my entire life, have always done exactly what I said I was going to do. Even if I start doing it and realize this isn't working to my benefit. But if somebody else is depending on that, we're going to do it. Period.
Right.
It doesn't matter, even if it works against me. I said I was going to do it. That person's depending on this being done. It's going to get done. But that's one of the things you don't see in the civilian world, because the moment they feel that they don't, it doesn't benefit me anymore, they're just done, and they don't seem to care about it. And I think, honestly speaking, I think it's one of the very big issues that people have, that people coming out of the military probably have. I know that was one of my struggling issues. And we haven't even gotten into the combat stuff or anything like that. But I'm just talking people that, just transition out. That's tough. That was a very, very rude awakening for me.
Right.